Kakadosh Boker Tov, Hannukah Sameach. We're continuing with Halachot of Hannukah. Maran says in Siman Tafresh Ayin Bet, Em Malikim Ner Hannukah Kodon Shetishka Chama Ela Im Sof Shekiyata. When exactly do we light the candles of the Chanukiah? We're not doing it before the Shekiyata Chama, meaning before the sunset, but rather at the end of the Shekiyah. Right? What does this mean exactly? The Mishnah Berurah explains right away, Hainu Tzete Kochavim. This is Tzete Kochavim, and that is also the psak of the Ben Ish Chai, the Kaf HaChaim, Chazon Ovadia, right? And also the Shut Shemesh Shomagan, Rabbi Shalom Esas, and that is the minhag of the Sfaradim, that we do it by Tzete Kochavim. We don't do it any earlier. Okay, why? Because that's the time when we're going to be doing it. This is the Shita of the Sfaradim. We do know that the Ashkenazim, they actually do it differently. Because the Ashkenazim, they're actually going to do it, many of them, they actually do it from Shekiyah time and onwards. However, though, we come and we say, no, we do it from that Tzete Kochavim. Lo me'acherim velo makdimim. We don't do it later and we don't do it earlier. Yesh mi shomer, but some people say, Shimutarud yachol lagdim miflaga mincha ulmala. That if a person's very, very busy, so then he could already start it from Pelega Mincha and onwards. Uvilvad shitem b'shemen at shetichle v'regel mishuk. But even if you are doing it because of Shat Dachak, because of pressing time, you are doing it earlier from Pelega Mincha. Sometimes this happens if a person has to travel or whatever the scenarios is that he would have to light early. But it's on condition that you have enough oil that it will last until after shetichle regel minashuk. And therefore the same halacha would apply this coming Friday night. This coming Friday night, obviously we can't do it by Tzete Kochavim, and we can't even do it by Shekiyah, right? You're not allowed to light by Shekiyah. Remember, Tosefet Shabbat is a mitzvah doraita according to the majority of the Rishonim, and that's how we are posek. And therefore, you have to do it earlier. So even if we're going to come and we're going to light the Chanukiah before the candles of Shabbat, because that's what we're supposed to do, we light the Chanukiah and then we light the candles of the Shabbat. So therefore, what happening is if you're doing it 18 minutes before the Shekiyah, you have to have enough oil that it's going to last until already half an hour after Tzete Kochavim. So if you already lit, right? So let's say right now Tzete Kochavim is around 35 minutes, right? Or between 35 and 40 minutes after the Shekiyah. So therefore you have half an hour after that. So you have half an hour plus the 35 minutes or the 40 minutes until Shekiyah. That's already an hour. Plus the 18 minutes before the Shekiyah. You're talking about around an hour and a half. So you have to have enough oil that the candles of the Chanukiah are going to be lit for an hour and a half. But that's what you're doing on Erev Shabbat. So therefore a person should have this in mind, because again, Lecha Techila we always light, and that's every single night. We're lighting at the time of the when it gets dark, right? Already not sunset, but rather when it's already Tzete Kochavim, nightfall. However, though, in a substantial circumstances, or for example, we're going to have it this coming Friday night, so then what we do is that we are allowed to do it earlier, but you would do it with enough oil that it would last for half an hour until after the nightfall, in order to make sure that we're going to be Yitzhak Chovah, the mitzvah. Let's say we would have a minyan for Pelega Mincha during the winter. Usually we don't do it because it's already very early. But let's say we would have one, and we're going to have it at 4 o'clock. So again, you would be able to do the same thing, but then you would have to have another, you would probably have to have 2 hours or 2.5 hours, right, for the Chanukiah to be lit, in order that you're always having half an hour after nightfall.